Okay, prop the mic here on a beautiful Monday morning to start the new NBA week. What is up, Dave?
I like that intro.
You like that?
It's very, very exciting.
I'm trying to bring up the energy levels here.
Good, man. Yeah,
I'm excited. So,
yeah. Although we'll state it up front that it was both you and I struggled to find some stuff today. So, we'll see what we can get. Hopefully we aligned on a couple of picks. This way we kind of make each other
it makes it easier for us. Yes.
Yeah. It doesn't help that half the NBA doesn't play anymore. So
I know
it's kind of crazy
between guys hurt, between teams tanking, between guy back to backs. It's brutal.
Yeah, it is brutal. But just a couple more weeks of that brutality, and then we'll be in playoff mode. So it'll be good.
I'm ready.
All right, so let's dive into today's slate. We got 7 games. The first is the worst. We got the Pacers at the Pistons. Pistons getting 3 at home. Total's 226. I say it's the worst because everybody's out. Halliburton's out. Matherin's out. McConnell's out. Turner's out. Bogdanovich, Bagley, Burks, all the Bs, Diallo, Ivy, and Stewart. Everybody's out.
Did the Pacers just decide to start tanking too or something? Or what's going on here?
Yeah, this is a straight sprint for the bottom of the barrel here.
Yeah.
But the Pacers aren't getting a top pick, right? They're not bad enough for that.
No.
I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah.
But the Pistons definitely are.
What was that?
The Pistons are definitely trying to tank.
Yeah, they're tanking. Yes. All right. So you got bigs are definitely where we can look here. So it's, that'd be Wiseman and Jalen Duren, one of our favorites.
Yeah.
No lines out on him yet, though. Unfortunately.
No, not on Duren. I don't know why. I mean, he's not starting. But we'll see. We'll see. They'll put something up before game time.
So I like Duren here more than Wiseman. I mean, those would be the two guys we'd look at. Duren is popping across 3 different categories. So as a roll and cut big, as a mobile big, and then as your kind of traditional big / center. So 3 of our positional categories. So I like that. Additionally, I did a little bit of digging into uncleaning the glass because it was so hard to find something today. So sometimes that requires a bit more digging and research in the lab, So the reason I like Duren the most, he takes 80% of his shots at the rim, and he's shooting 71% at the rim. Since the beginning of February, Indiana is last in the league in opponent shot attempts at the rim. So you're melding these two forces together, to have a nice matchup for Duren. So we have no lines to talk about, but when they come out later, he's the play.
Yeah, I think anything where his line, I particularly liked his rebounds. If he's over 8.5 rebounds or something like that, he's probably only going to play 20 minutes, which is weird, but I still like that. So, okay.
Yeah.
Anybody else in this game?
No, I mean, matchup, you have Killian Hayes is popping on a multiple categories, and you have no Jaden Ivey to compete with, so I would take a look at him for sure. And then the other guy that was popping on a couple categories was Isaiah Levers. So you could look at him too.
Yeah,
but not very fun, and I think we should move on.
Oh no, we're not moving on.
You got something, huh?
Got something. So let me just give you a little bit more data on Killian Hayes. Okay. I don't really love playing him because he's super inconsistent, but he has played 3 games without Ivy and Bogdanovich, and in those 3 games, he's had 11 RA, 14 RA, and 19 RA. The 19 was the last game 2 days ago against the Indiana. So his line is 11.5 RA. I think it's a good play. I think with the absence of all those players, I think he's going to get there. The other one I call the Hassan Whiteside bet because this was a favorite of yours. don't go crazy on this, but
Okay.
just for fun.
Yeah.
Wiseman under 1 assist, plus 143.
Ooh, okay.
He's 0 for 4 in games with Duren, right? So in games in which Duren played, and in games in which he plays under 30 minutes since coming over to Detroit, he's 1 for 8. He'll probably play 25 minutes tonight.
Yeah,
he's not going to get 30 minutes of play. I don't think. This is just all luck, though. You know, he bounces the ball off his head and somebody scores. It counts as an assist, but I like it for plus money. Just a little something.
Yeah. All right.
All right, let's move on.
Yeah, the Hassan Whiteside. That's right.
Yeah, you used to always go for Hassan Whiteside under 1 assist.
Under 1 assist. The man makes no attempt to.
It's a perfect bet for a game you're not going to watch because it's brutal to try to watch that.
Yes. Did you have anything on Indiana side?
No.
Yeah, just a couple worth pointing out, I'd say, is Naismith popping off in a few different categories, and I'd keep an eye out for Nwora. He's also with all the guys resting today. His position, which is small forward/small forward, is a good matchup. So another guy to keep an eye out for. Yeah.
All right. Good. All right. Let's go to a real game. We got the T-Wolves at the Hawks. Hawks are -5. Total is nice. Total 244.5.
Wow.
So lots of points are going to be scored here. Who do you like?
I couldn't land on anything for this game either. But you have lots of good matchups. So Capella and Okongwu, your bigs, a couple times here. They're popping off. Sadiq Bey as a movement shooter and a help defender looks like a good matchup here. On that side of the ball, on the Minnesota side, Edwards is really looking like a good matchup in terms of being a shot creator and a help defender. Both good targets for Atlanta, and McDaniels as well as a point of attack defender and as a small forward. Also, two great matchups. But I couldn't land on anything, though McDaniels' assists were kind of looking nice to me, but that's just not a very fun bet to talk about. So I laid off.
Yeah, I had a hard time here. I was looking at Anthony Edwards. Because he has been hot of late.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I don't know. He's better at home than he is on the road. That's why I ended up laying off. I like Trae Young. It's a lot of points, 27.5 points.
Mm-hmm.
But he's done this in 4 or 5 of his last home games. So he's a good player at home. There's going to be a ton of points scored in this game. So I think he's got to be good for probably 28, 29, 30. So I like that one.
Yeah, that's a good one. Guys like him, those shot creators. I mean, just recently, that Tatum put up 34. Bradley Beal put up 27, 24. You've had a lot of nice ones. Jimmy Butler had a huge game. I think he had 26 points. Yeah, so good recent history for guys like this.
Yeah. All right, cool. Let's move on. We got the Jazz at the Heat. Heat are -7.5 at home. Total is 226. What is standing out for you in this game?
So this one, speaking of the guy we were just talking about here, Jimmy Butler, he's been hot, and he is in a couple good matchups here. Also, again, as a shot creator against Utah, and as a wing stopper against Utah. I like his points, 24.5 points. He's done it in 4 straight games, 38, 33, 28, 26. His last 5 of 6 overall and 6 of 10 at home. So I like that. I also looked at his par, which he's done in 7 of 10 overall. It's 36.5. But in this matchup, I mean, Utah is one of the best teams to target right now. So I like both of those points and par.
Yeah. I was looking at him. I was actually holding off to hear your perspective on the matchup. Points seem like the way to go.
Yeah.
I don't remember if it was rebounds or assists. I think it was rebounds were kind of low of late, so you might be.
Yeah, the rebounds were down, assists were up. So
yeah. But I think points are probably the safest bet here.
Yes.
Okay.
But you have good matchups all across the board. I couldn't let like Gabe Vincent and Victor Oladipo both was Vincent out? I don't know, but both those guys had good matchups. Even Hero is popping off in a couple different matchups here. As a primary ball handler, as a help defender, as a wing/shooting guard. So even Hero's another guy I would look at as well. So yeah, definitely some good juicy stuff here on the Miami side going up against this weak Jazz team.
Yeah, definitely. All right, what about on the Jazz side?
Nothing on the Jazz side though. I mean, Miami's great defensively. Movement shooters and power forwards are really the only two categories that popped off today. So that I think there's a play somewhere on marketing, but I couldn't get there.
Okay. Yeah, I liked Walker Kessler, one of our MVPs.
Okay.
Over 9.5 rebounds, minus 130. He's done this in 9 of his last 10 games. And 8 of his last 10 on the road. And when he played Miami back in, I think it was December, he had 12 rebounds. So,
okay.
I don't know. This guy is just super efficient at rebounding. And, obviously going up against Bam, but Bam's not a great rebounder. So I think it's good.
All right. Into that. No, and the blocks too. He's pretty good with the blocks.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I actually didn't look at his blocks. You always got to give Walker Kessler, Triple J, Claxton, even Bam. You got to give them all a look at the blocks every once in a while.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep going. We got the Grizzlies, the jawless Grizzlies going up against the Mavs, the Luka-less Mavs. So this was like a probably expected to be a matchup that would be great. And now the Mavs are actually getting 1 point at home. Totals 224.5. I actually see a lot of people on the Mavs tonight, Mavs money line tonight, just because they just played. It was a tight game. Mm-hmm. Neither Luka or Kyrie played. Kyrie's projected to play today. So I'm not really sure why they're favoring the Grizzlies in Dallas. But anyway, that's the game. Let's hear about the props.
Not much. I'm gonna tread lightly here. You got the two main guys, the main guy for both teams, both out, so it kind of messes up rotations and whatnot. So you can't read as much into the matchup stuff here. But bigs against Memphis are really the only place to look. If I just read through the categories that are popping off here. Post scorer, stretch big, versatile big, anchor big, big centers. I mean, it's just bigs are especially rebounding are the way to target Memphis. But
there's no props out there.
What?
There's no props on the Dallas side.
Yeah, I know.
So who would that even be? That would be Christian Wood.
That would be. It's Powell, Wood.
Right.
And then on the Memphis side, you have so I really like Xavier Tillman in this matchup, but there weren't lines out on him yet. So he has a great matchup as a roll and cut big, as a mobile big, and then as a traditional center. 3 great matchups there. So I look at him. Triple J is another one. He's a stretch big, anchor big. Big/power forward. So I looked at him as well, but he's also kind of up and down. His points recently have been okay, but I kind of thought when I'd split out, I'd pull out games where he didn't play with Ja, that like his scoring output would go up, but that's not the case. So I don't know. I was hoping you had something on Triple J.
No, didn't have anything there. The only guy I had in this game was Tyus Jones.
Okay.
11.5 RA. It's been 7 out of his last 10 with Ja, and 5 of his last 6 without Ja. So, and he just played Dallas and had 14 RA just 2 days ago. So I think Tyus Jones is kind of holding down the fort over there as the point guard.
Yeah.
So I kind of like that.
Yeah, that's good. We were on that the other day. When Ja's out, he becomes a great play. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Very good. All right, now we get the Celtics at the Rockets. Rockets are getting 12 points at home. Total is 231.5. I really am excited to tell you about these plays, but you're not going to be excited to hear about them. So
okay,
go ahead. You got anybody on this one?
I have nothing on this game either. Jalen Green was the guy I was looking at on the Houston side. A few good matchups here as a primary ball handler, point of attack defender. But Porter back in the mix. I'm a little worried about that. Also Boston, but and then on the Boston side, you got some good matchups against Houston, but none that were like, you'd see the same guy over and over again. It was like a good matchup here, good matchup there. So I couldn't land on anything. So I'm glad you have a couple exciting ones for me.
Oh, they're not exciting. So when you're struggling to find overs, always remember there's the other side of the coin. You can always go under as well.
Yeah.
So I went, the Rockets are a great rebounding team, right? That's point number one, right? Mm-hmm. They're bad at everything else, but they're good at rebounding. And point number two is this is a 12-point spread. So there's a good chance this game could be a blowout and starters come out of the game. So I put those two things together. I said, all right, who on the Celtics can we fade rebounding? So the first guy I looked at was Marcus Smart, under 3.5 rebounds. Okay. Sounds scary, right? Because 3.5 is nothing.
Yeah.
But he played Houston earlier in the season. In 28 minutes, he had 1 rebound. So I like that.
Okay.
In the month of March, here's what he's put up: 0 in the first game in March, 4 against Brooklyn, so he covered there. 3, 3, 0, and 1. So he's only covered 1 game in the month of March, and it was against a poor rebounding team in Brooklyn, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's Marcus Smart, under 3.5 rebounds.
Okay.
The other person to potentially target is Jaylen Brown, under 6.5 rebounds. So Jaylen Brown is 4 of his last 10 in covering, right?
Okay.
So he's only done this 40% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And again, when he played Houston earlier this season, he had 1 rebound. So whichever of those two guys you like and want to fade on rebounding, I think they're both a good play. But whichever one speaks to you more, I don't know. Which of the two do you think is a better one?
I mean, I like that Brown's line is higher.
Yeah, but he also is in position to rebound a lot more than Smart. But yeah. I mean, 4 rebounds is scary. That can happen very quickly, but it hasn't been happening for him.
It is. I don't know. I think I would lean Brown just because the few more, a little bit more leeway there. But I don't know. Those unders aren't ones that I dig into too often. So I don't have a lot of experience there. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on. Next, you got the highlighted game of the night: Suns at the Warriors. Warriors are -4.5. Totals 236. Wiggins is still out. Steph is back. KD is obviously out for the Suns. What do you like here?
All right, I like. I had 2 from this game here. Klay Thompson has a nice matchup here against Phoenix. Thompson is off-screen shooter who has performed pretty well against Phoenix. Also, wing/small forwards performing really well against Phoenix. I like his points, 22.5 points. On January 10th, he had 29 against Phoenix. He's done this in his last 6 of 10 and 5 of 7 at home. So not a ton of, I'm not throwing an 8 of 10 at you or anything like that. Just kind of playing the matchup in the history here.
Yeah, he's got some past too, right? Didn't he and Booker get into it last year?
That's right. Yep. That's right.
So maybe, he had 2 bad games against Phoenix to start the year. I think I can't even read this. Maybe it was like 2 points or something. And then 19 points. But
he just got off to a slow start altogether. It was really nothing to do with Phoenix. Like he's just slow to start this season.
Exactly. And both of those were away. If you just look at even his last 10 at home, what does he average? 24.4 and away 19. Yeah. So much better player at home.
But the guy who actually has, Curry seems to have even a better matchup. I mean, primary ball handlers, low activity defenders, and point guards, all great matchups against Phoenix. So that's Curry, and he's got some compelling stuff there. I mean, I think he's done whatever his line is, 28.5. I think he's done it in like 7 of 10 overall and whatnot. So he's also a good one. I just kind of, I don't know. In my gut, I was kind of just feeling a Clay game here.
All right, let me dive into Curry a little because this is where I was really digging for something today.
Okay.
All right, so Curry, I think he's been back for 4 games so far.
I think so, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So in those 4 games, he's scored 27, 40, 29, and 36. So you're right. He covered in most of those games, 3 out of 4. But look at his first half versus second half split. So in the first game, he scored 8 points in the first half and finished with 27. So that's 29% of his points being scored in the first half.
Yeah.
Second game, 14 points in the first half, finished with 40.
Wow.
That's 35% of points being scored in the first half. Third game was the anomaly, 19 points in the first half, finished with 29. So 65% of the points were scored in the first half.
Okay.
And the last game, who did they just play? Memphis, I think, or something like that. Yeah. 7 points in the first half, finished with 36.
Wow.
So 19%. So I think he is a good bet for basically waiting until the end of the first quarter. Wait till sometime in the second quarter, and that 28.5 will come down maybe to 24 and a half, something like that, and grab it there.
I love it. This is some nice. Now, yeah, go ahead.
Now he did in let's see, what has he done against Phoenix so far this year? 3 games against Phoenix, he put up 21, 50, and 24. So he's only crossed in 1 game. That game where he scored 50, he had 17 points in the first quarter. So it is possible that this whole theory of Curry scores late could get blown away in the first 6 minutes of the game. And if it does, you just lay off, right?
Yeah.
Don't go crazy.
Good point. Yeah, no harm, no foul, right?
No harm, no foul. But if you have the ability to live bet, I think this could be worth waiting till the end of the first quarter, sometime in the second quarter, jump on it, try to get it at a lower cost than 28.5.
All right.
Okay.
Nice. Cool. Very sharp. Like it.
Sharp. You got to be sharp. When it's hard to find stuff, you got to dig an extra layer or 2.
Yeah.
All
certain
right.
days, just when they're not coming to you, which they were not today. It was like pulling teeth today. Yeah.
Don't force it.
Yeah, exactly. I had one.
It's still fun to talk about it, but it's like when it comes to actually pulling the trigger, you just wait till tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right. What do you like on the Sun side?
On the Sun side, all right. I had so you have a nice matchup here for stretch bigs. So that's Torrey Craig for Phoenix. Okay. I like his points, 6.5 points. His last 3, he's cleared this in 3 straight games against Golden State, averaging 10.2 points in his last 3 games against Golden State. And just for some recent trends, he's done this in 5 of his last 10 games on the road without Durant, but seems to play Golden State really well. So I also like his rebounds, which is also 6.5, but this one's plus 120. His last 2 games against Golden State, 14 and 10. Double-digit rebounds his last 2 games against Golden State.
Yeah.
So I think he'll get extra run, obviously, without Durant out, and for some reason he matches up well and plays well against Golden State.
Yeah. I was just looking at his minutes in his last game. He was getting a lot of minutes. Then I guess Durant came back. But in his last game, he played 28 minutes. So, so that's good. My guess is if he gets above 25 minutes, he'll be in good shape for that.
Yeah, I think before Durant started playing, he was, right? I mean, he was playing 30 minutes. Yeah. So
there was also something on him. I'm trying to remember what I saw, but something on a 3-pointer or a steal or something. I can't remember. Anyway,
I can see that.
Keep moving. All right, cool. Anything else in this game?
No, Ayton's popping off a little bit here. So I look at him, I just don't trust that guy. So
did you wrong?
Point it out.
We're just full of scars from past plays. It's too bad there's only 450 players in the league.
Yeah.
It's not like the NFL where the players rotate every 3 years.
Yeah. Once
some
guy gets written off, you got that 450.
That's why there's no there's no permanent suspensions. It's always you're in timeout and you can come back at a later date.
If you're a go boy.
All right, here we go. We got the Bucks at the Kings night game. Kings are +2. another high total, 244.5. So we got 2 games with 244.5. Lots of scoring. I think Giannis is out of this game, is what I saw.
I saw him as questionable still, but he could be out by now.
Yeah, I didn't see any lines on him. So
yeah. So I like here. De'Aaron Fox is a good matchup. Point guards against Milwaukee have been good going back to February 1st. Point of attack defenders also. The other thing I liked here, so like I did before, I did a little extra digging today because it was required. Milwaukee, since the beginning of February, is last in the league in opponent mid-range shot attempts. De'Aaron Fox takes 54% of his shots from mid-range, and he's shooting 50% on the season mid-range. So this matchup works well. You have a guy, he's matching up well to begin with. Plus, you have the way he scores is the way Milwaukee's been giving up a lot of shots. So let's take De'Aaron Fox over 25.5 points, -120. He's done this in 7 of his last 10 overall, and his last 4 of 6 at home.
Nice. Yeah. Very good. Anybody else?
No. No. The only one I would say is on the Milwaukee side, Grayson Allen. His name is appearing on my list like 3 or 4 times. That's
great. I have a play on Grayson Allen.
Oh, he's the guy I was trying to find something, and is it an under though?
No, it's a Grayson Allen rebounding play. We've talked about this in the past.
Yeah, I was looking at
that. See, I did this analysis with the assumption that Giannis was out. Now I see him in the projected starting lineup. But regardless, let's just play it out. Over 2.5 rebounds, -130. He's hit this in 9 of 10 games without Giannis. 9 of his last 10, 11 of 13 without Giannis across the whole season. And the other fact is he had 6 rebounds against Sacramento last time they played. So overall, I think it's a good play. If he does get it, he'll probably end up with 3 and it'll be painful. But
did you look at his PR at all?
I didn't look at his PR. I looked at his RA, and that was less compelling. But overall, I think it's okay. His points are probably okay. I did think I looked at his par as well. And
they're not bad. The par is 4 of his last 6. The points and rebounds are 5 of 6, which is not bad. The reason I'm looking to include the points is so he's got. The rebounds are good because he's actually matches up in as a chase defender. So I kind of look at those more for the especially for rebounding, those defensive categorizations. I find it to be a little bit better. But he also matches up as a movement shooter. Sacramento, I think, is the best team today to target movement shooters against. So I was Allen. So that was why I was asking about the points. Points and rebounds maybe. But.
All right. Cool.
All right.
So that does it. It's not our most compelling delivery here, just because wasn't really calling to us. But nevertheless, there's some stuff in here, and we'll go comb through and we'll find our favorite ones, and then maybe even something else will pop up, especially on that first game as they start releasing the players for that game.
Yeah, but I would say let's keep it cute today. Keep it fun. Let's
keep it
not
fun.
go overboard.
Don't go crazy.
Right? Yeah,
all right.
Not one of those days to pound. So,
nevertheless, enjoy the games.
All right, nice work, Dave.
See ya.